Hey guys, I'm Colin. I have a lot of people tell me that they want to get into the hobby. They really do. It looks so cool, but they just don't know where to start. And so today I'm just going to kind of cover some of the starter animals that you guys would probably enjoy. Welcome to Classy Herbs. Alright, so again, and I'm going to keep saying this till I hit 200 subscribers on Classy Herbs. Click the link below and go subscribe to Classy Herbs because I really need to get everyone over there. As of right now, I have 97 subscribers at the Classy Herbs page, and that means 3 more, and third person gets a shout out, so that's the 100 subscriber gets a shout out, and then also the 200 subscriber gets a shout out as well. Alright, now on the video. First thing I'm going to say here is if you're looking to get into the hobby, start off basic. Okay, these are dart frogs. These are a little more advanced than you want to get into it right away. They have some higher maintenance and care needs that you can only really get down perfect with some experience. And so it's good to kind of wait on these, as these are very pretty animals. You can see I have a few, and they're just really pretty, but they are pretty needy, so you might not want to start off with some frogs like these. One thing I'll say, if you really do want frogs, there's plenty of frogs that are really easy, like firebelly toads, Pac-Man frogs. Those are pretty easy. These are not so much. Alright, now to some lizards and reptiles. First off, guys, everyone knows, get a leopard gecko to start with if you're gonna get into some lizards. I would show my tegu right now, but as he's not here yet, don't start off with a tegu. If you were gonna do anything, don't start off with a tegu. I mean, that is pretty advanced. They have some seriously high needs. They get really big. They can be aggressive if you don't handle them right. Guys, really, if you're going to do anything, don't just jump into the tegu. It can be really tempting just because how fun they are and how dog-like they are. They're really nice animals, but that's only if you do things right. So the only way you can get that down is really with some experience. And these leopard geckos, they're so easy to take care of. There's nothing to them. All you need is some heat, a hide, some water, and some crickets, and maybe give them a little attention like this now and then. But really, there's just not much. And you'll start to understand what goes through a lizard's head, and you'll just start to understand what really they are. And that's how you can get more into it. One thing I need to say, though, I'm definitely not saying just go run out and buy a leopard gecko even if you don't know anything. They're not that easy. But please don't think I'm saying that. Every animal, before you get one, anything, you need to do some research, because you're not just going to go out and buy a cat or a dog if you don't know what it eats, you don't know anything about it. You're not just going to go do that. You need to research, you need to know. This is definitely much more important in reptiles because they need that heat to stay warm, and they don't make their own body heat. You need to know what temperature they need to stay at to stay alive and thrive. You need to know that. You need to know how much water they need, so humidity-wise, you need to know what they eat, of course. You're not going to try to feed a leopard gecko a rat. At least I really hope you don't, because that could really injure them. You need to know that they eat crickets. You need to know some stuff about the animal before you just go diving in on it. And that gets a lot more advanced for some of the more advanced animals you get, like a tegu. I'm saying you need to do a few months of research before you get one of those, as I did. Alright, now on to everyone's favorite, the snakes. This here is a ball python. This is a normal. One thing I definitely need to tell you is, just because you're watching my videos, you're seeing all these morphs and watching other people's videos like snake bites, it's just so easy to just want to dive into all the breeding and the morphs and everything. It's so easy. But please listen to me on this. Go out and get a normal first. Don't just dive in, because morphs are pretty expensive. And if you dive in, you invest $1,000 into your ball pythons, and then you realize that you don't actually like the species, the animal itself, well, what happened? You wasted some money. And that's probably not the best idea. So go out and get a normal like this, because I got my normals. They were free, $50 at the most. But yeah, get a normal, and you know, they act exactly the same as a morph, so there's no difference. You're just You're gonna save a lot of money, and you're gonna find out if you like the species or not. They're different from a lot of species. They're very slow moving, and they're very, very loving animals. They're not fast like a corn snake or anything. So you just need to get to know the animal before you dive in. While I'm on ball pythons, I'm definitely gonna recommend, if anyone's thinking about what kind of a snake they want to get a ball python. Ball python, definitely. You can get a corn snake or something, but I'm just gonna tell you corn snakes are pretty much out right now. No offense to anyone who has one, but hopefully you can see that prices have gone down on even the best morphs. A lot of people have them, corn snakes still, but they're definitely losing their popularity to ball pythons. They can be pretty jumpy and nippy as babies. They're pretty fast. They're really small, and so they're kind of hard to hold. Ball pythons are pretty much the opposite of that. They are pretty heavy, thick-bodied animals. They're about the slowest moving snake you'll find. They're not going to get away from you unless you completely 100% ignore them. They're just really nice, and plus, they're the nicest creatures on earth. Everyone thinks snakes are just so horrible, but look at this girl. She doesn't have a care in the world about me holding her. She's holding on to me, I'm not holding on to her. Yeah, and see, she's just chilling. They're really, really nice animals, and I don't see how you couldn't like one. So get a ball python, because if you're doing that, you're getting into where it's at right now. I think ball pythons are going to hold their popularity for a long time. If you want some other recommendations by me, definitely hognose snakes are going to be where it's at after ball pythons. They're going to get pretty popular pretty quick. They have rear fangs, but their venom is only strong enough to kill a mouse. It can't do anything to a human, but I gotta say, hognose snakes are so nice. They're so nice. I don't even know what you'd have to do to get bit by one of them. They are so nice. Snake bites rank them above ball pythons in their temperament, so you can just see anything that ranks above this, that's gotta be pretty nice. Hognose snakes, as I was saying, are venomous in the rear of their mouth, so they can't really get you too easy. You really have to be trying, considering how small their mouths are, and if you did manage to get bit and injected with venom by one, it wouldn't hurt at all. Might have a little irritation or something, but golly, guys, they're so nice. It is just amazing. And there's a lot of cool morphs that are just coming out, and they're super expensive right now, but that's because they're so new and people are realizing how awesome they are. And I wouldn't doubt within the next 10 years that they hit the market big time. Ball pythons might actually begin to lose some ground. Purchasing and getting into the ball pythons is definitely not a wrong turn. You can't really go wrong with these guys. Even if you just want one as a pet, hey, you can't beat this. Another recommendation by me, Kenyan sand boas. They're going to get pretty popular too. And both these species, hognose snakes and Kenyan sand boas, are really nice because they get really small. They don't get very big. Ball pythons, they're not that big. They definitely don't get as what you would consider large snakes, but they do get about 5 foot or so. So they have some size to them. Nothing like a hognose or a Kenyan sand boa can get. So they're definitely small animals. Just to show you what I mean about Kenyan sand boas, this is the normal ball python I was holding. This is the Kenyan sand boa, little one. He's about a year old. You can just see the enormous size difference. He's trying to dig down into the carpet there. That's what's cool about them. They dig down into their substrate. It's really awesome to watch, but you can see how tiny they are, and definitely not aggressive. But look how tiny that little head is. He couldn't bite me if he wanted to. But yeah, it's just really awesome. These little Kenyan sand boas. Really, I'm gonna get into him. Watch this as he's gonna burrow down in there. They're also really great feeders. You just kind of drag the mouse across the substrate, and he will shoot out of there at it. Just great feeders. Ball pythons can be a little bit tricky sometimes with that. Hey guys, here with your pup of the week. This is actually my favorite kind of rat, the all black ones. I can't tell yet, maybe this one might be a Dumbo. His mother was a Dumbo. That'd be really awesome. But yeah, I just really like the all black rats. That's been your pup of the week. Alright, so now it's my turn to ask you guys a question. Honestly, I'm running out of things to do for videos, and I don't know what you guys want to see. So leave me a comment below on what you're wanting, and hopefully I can make the videos. One more thing, I have a shout out to someone who has done me a great thing. They actually made me a profile picture and are working on a background for me. Nova Life 69, thank you very much. That helped a lot because I didn't have a picture. And yeah, so thank you very much. So if you guys want any more tips and anything, be sure to go down here one more time to Classy Herps page, subscribe there. Please, please subscribe there. Thank you very much.
It's time for the weekly comment contest.
So now that we've shown you what you think is best for starting out, we want to know what you would recommend out of the starting animal, and why. Please leave your comments down below for a shout out next Monday. Last week's comment contest question, which was, do you prefer buying adults or hatchlings, best answered by Drop the Twinkie, who said, it all really depends on your future plans for them. If you're going to use them in a current breeding project, I would definitely rather go with an adult. That way you know you're getting a proven breeder and not a dud. But if I'm in no rush, I would much rather get a hatchling. That way you can grow with it and show it from a young age that you're not there to hurt it. I've always liked people I've known from a young age. I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye. Cut.